days, few months, I'm sorry. And I requested her if I have seen your sessions, and I requested her if I can be part of this somehow. And she was immediately had said an okay, and I must thank her really immensely. So these are the four people I know I can personally thank, but the entire consultants forum, I have great pleasure in being part of this session. Now, the audience, according to me, as much as I know, is mixed of technology people. Is the composition of the audience, as much as I understand. So this today's topic is also going to revolve around the type of audience that we are going to address today. So although the topic is quite generic, the flow or the direction or the purpose of this discussion would be towards highlighting the areas of the audience. So that's number one. The second thing is I am, as I was explaining to Srikanthan sir in the beginning, I am not an expert in technology. I mean, I have, as you can see it on the screen, I am not an engineer. I am the only non-engineer in my family, apart from my mother. We are four brothers. All the three brothers are engineers. My father is also an engineer. My three brothers, two of them are mechanical and one is an electrical engineer. So I am the odd man out, the black sheep, they say. But I did my post-graduation in science. I have a master of science in physics. So somewhere close to the technology people. So I am happy that I am able to match up with them. Then I did my MBA in marketing. I finished it in 1989, and all my education I did from Gujarat. Although I am a Tamilian, born in Tamil Nadu, but I have studied all through my life, all through my education from Gujarat. So I can speak multiple languages. For example, I can speak Gujarati very well. I can speak Hindi very well. I can speak Tamil. Okay, I have learned in the last 20-25 years, and I can speak English quite well. So I am a multilingual in that fashion, and I also understand a few other Indian languages. I have also traveled abroad for about 8-9 years. I have been to the Gulf. I have worked in the Gulf. And in India, I have started my career from Mumbai. Then I moved to the Gulf. Then I came back to Bangalore. I worked there for a few years. Now I'm in Chennai for the last 22 years. So pretty well I have covered geographically where I have been, and I have also covered the type of companies I have worked are mostly into electronics, technology, and telecom. And I have been a sales and business development professional for 23 years. And this is the training and empowerment journey. It has started about 8 years ago, and I run a company called We Empower Academy, and I actually specialize in essential skills and as a business consultant for small businesses. Essential skills is also called soft skills. Generally, it is against the hard skills that you are very in hard skills, the technical part of it. But I am on the other part of the spectrum. I am on the soft skills, which is also essential skills. So thank you once again for joining this session, and I'm happy that almost 40 people have logged in, and it's a great pleasure. So this is a small background about myself. I hope it helps for you to understand from where I'm coming and what I can bring to the table. Now we are talking about a topic called win-win communication for consultants and businesses. That's what I started off saying, that although communication is a very wide subject, so such a huge subject, although it looks so simple and trivial for most of us. Are you all able to hear what I'm saying? I'll keep checking the audio of everyone. Is it okay? Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, great. I'll continue. So this win-win communication was a topic which was very close to me. Although communication is a very generic topic, but I wanted to bring it to win-win communication, because we are all business-oriented people, and we always want to win, also want others to win. So especially as for consultants and business owners and leaders, it's very important that we must have good communication and effective communication skills, and it should be a win-win for all the parties in concerned, connected to that particular communication channels. So this is a very important topic for all of us to discuss. It's a generic topic, unlike what the technical handled the last 20, 25 days. And this consultant group has been the first to start Zoom connection, Zoom way of webinars, and it has pioneered others to follow. So it's a pioneer in its own field. So I take that as a great compliment that I'm part of this group. Now today the agenda is going to be pretty simple. As I said earlier, I would be taking a half the time, and you guys will take half the time. Is my speed okay?
Okay,
sir. All right, great. So the first is why we need this communication skills. And if you see in the agenda, there are other terminologies used, which we will as we go we will understand. Any of you understand any of these terminologies, so that I can quickly complete that part? If most of you know it, I can run through that. Is any of these concepts known to you, or is it new?
No.
Oh, that's good. So that will be interesting for all of us. So these are the things that I'm going to cover today in the next 20-25 minutes. So as we go along, you can think of those questions and post it to in the group or to Mr. Srikanth sir in that consortium group chat box, so that at the end of the session we can address those questions. I would also appreciate that since communication is very generic and a common subject, we will have a lot of questions, lot of queries, lot of thoughts, lot of comments, including the personal life and professional life. Now, before I go that, I can show you another thing which in my profile, that is the NLP and DTM. NLP, I think many of you may be aware by now, it is Neuro-Linguistic Programming. So I have done my master's certification in Neuro-Linguistic Programming. And DTM, anyone knows DTM?
No.
Okay, it is Distinguished Toastmaster. Toastmasters is a platform which started in 1924 in the US, and it helps people to develop their communication, public speaking, and presentation skills apart from leadership skills. So I have been part of the Toastmaster journey for 12 years, and that has actually helped me. Honestly, it has actually helped me to conduct the sessions of this type, not only in the webinar, but also in a classroom session where I handle about close to 500 to 600 people at a shop. Okay, it starts from 5 people to 500 to 600 people. So I can handle as a large audience only because I've been part of Toastmasters. So I've taken the learning throughout my life, my science background, my management background, my neuro-linguistic programming background, and my Toastmasters background to actually see that I give value to the session that we are going to. If you have any questions related to these titles, we will take it in the question answer session. Thank you. So let's move forward. Let's get into this. There are three main things that we are going to cover which are related to each other, which are very closely related to each other. They are actually communication skills comes. It's a primary skill, so that we will take it in a larger extent towards after discussing the other two skills. So let me start with presentation skills. We are technology people, technologists, we are business owners, business leaders. So we have been doing presentations over a period of time. We have handled clients, we have given group presentations, we have done so many things, but still we have an improvement area in that in presentation skills, according to me, because when I see technologists who doing presentation, there are a lot of things which from a non-technology background person, I can give some suggestions and inputs, which actually could be valuable for people going forward. So presentation skills is very important because you can show your capabilities, your expertise, your whatever your companies is doing, your product is doing, your company's growth, performance, so many things you can do with presentation skills. And that actually helps the company to build up a brand, build up a position in the market, go extra mile, and also help people to come to you for more and more requirements, business, as well as for networking. So presentation skills are the key as far as that is concerned. So as consultants, what happens as consultants is that you go and present the concepts and the certification rules and standards to the organizations. But the problem is the customer takes it totally differently. So there is a gap. This is called communication gap, or it's called presentation gap, or it's called some gap is there, which is very evident. I believe in most of our lives, which is very evident as we go forward. So that is what we want to address in our session today. Now, we are all talking about bottom line and top lines every time to attract more and more customers. But somewhere I feel we also have that ego which comes in between. It gets hurt. And even though we keep on telling our customers, our clients, our network people that this is not the way to do, but still it is prevalent, because we being experts in one area, we would not want to accept certain things, and we want to be very particular and specific on something. So there is this disconnect or the ego that comes in, and that's where we need to develop this skill of proper presentation. So the audience also needs value from what you're doing. Generally what happens in the technical presentation, we tend to give whatever we want to tell the audience, but it's sometimes difficult to understand what the audience wants from that. So we need to identify what the audience or the listeners are expecting or want value from the presentation. So that is one skill that we need to understand. The other thing is, especially online sessions, which is going to be a trend from going forward. There are the completely change in the way presentation is done compared to the normal way of presentation. So we need to understand the new age way of doing presentations. The other thing is, sometimes what happens is we I'm muted. Oh, you tend to do a presentation in such a fashion that we sometimes confuse the audience, and we want to know where we are going wrong. So it's important for us to address those gaps in between by asking certain subtle questions to check if the vibration is going forward, if the connection is there, if the correlation is happening. So those type of skills that we need to develop. So generally what I have seen, it's my experience, is that we keep on telling what we have to tell. And by the time it gets over, maybe some people have understood, some people have not understood. So it's important that in between we need to address certain things. We can also use the art of repetition. Certain key points and certain key things can be used as repetition, because that can connect a few of the concepts that we are talking. Some concepts may be different from each other. So if you give a repetitive sentence or a word or a phrase which can connect, it actually gets the flow going. Now, this is, I'm just handling a small part of each of these major skills because of shortage of time. So please pardon me if I'm rushing through. So the next is what we are talking about, the public speaking skills. Now, presentation skills is a little different from public speaking skills. Public speaking skills is generally, in my opinion, on a very generic topic, maybe, or a person who can address a large gathering, who can impress a large gathering on any topic, not only technical topic, but on any topic, and a person who can engage with the audience so that the audience understands and goes in flow. Now, if you would get confused, and I said in presentation skills, a similar thing I said, but both the skills are a little different. So a person who has a good public speaking skill can become a good presenter, but the converse may not be true always. So that's the difference. All right. So generally, public speaking skills increases the brand value, the brand equity, as you all say. You can get connected, you can get networked easily, you can have an edge over others by creating network, so that it helps your future business. It may not really help, may or may not help the current business, but definitely it will go along to help future businesses. Plus, since you can do it for a varied audience, you can attract future potential clients or customers. So definitely, public speaking skills has one big quality is it can increase your brand for your own personal thing as well as for your company. It can give a great boost to give that fillip to the brand and the of personal and for the company. So it is always said that high net worth is more than network. So if you want to have a better net worth, WRTH, it's important that we to achieve some of these areas. This is again a very short description or short information on what public speaking skills are and how it helps. So I'm just running through the main points, so you can address it in your questions as we go along. Now, then let's go to that first thing, communication skills. As I said, I will come to that at the end. Now, if you see both the skills, public speaking and presentation is all about communication. But a good communicator is a much different person. A person who can actually understand what goes on in the minds or the hearts of people where he or she is addressing. So it creates that connect. It creates that emotion. So communication skills create emotions, and it connects emotions. It also helps to identify the way the audience or the listeners are behaving. Also helps us to understand how the audience is reacting, responding. So this communication skills is the hallmark or is the bottom line in terms of business to have good public speaking skills and good presentation skills. So let's move forward. And if you have to be a good presenter or have good communication skills or be a good public speaking, we have to balance all the three. Now in this balance, the person sitting and relaxing in one part of the balance is not in the upper hand. The other side is in the upper hand. So what happens is you need to increase your brand equity, your brand worth, so that you either equalize with the audience or you become better than the audience. So public speaking skills, in presentation skills and communication skills all put together can improve the balance of you being a person, a true professional in that sense. Now, I use this terminology mass in my agenda, isn't it? Now, what would can somebody respond? What could these MA? We all are technology people, so we know mass. Mass is the amount of matter in a substance. I hope my physics is correct. I have left physics 35 years ago. so mass is so here the mass is a little different. What according to you could be mass? Can somebody respond? In communication, public speaking, and presentation skills, what could be mass? MASS. What could be MASS?
Meaning.
Okay, good try. Anyone else? Okay. Now, is any of the four alphabets anybody? Anybody coming forward? You have to unmute and speak because I'm not seeing your chats. Okay. Now,
A for attention.
Sorry, sir.
A for attention.
Okay. Okay. Good try. Okay. But it's not that I'm looking for. Okay.
Message, audience, source, security.
That's a nice. Oh, Mathur Sridhar. I see. How are you, sir? Okay, good. Good to see a Toastmaster in the group. Okay, Mathur Sridhar also is not what I'm looking for. Anyone else want to try? Okay. For the sake of saving time, let me open up the riddle.
Hello.
Material, audience, self, situation. Now, what is material? Is the content. We are all very good in content. We as consultants and business leaders, we are very good in our content. We are subject matter experts. And we know our content very, very thoroughly. Even if we don't know it, we research it so very well that we put those content in such a fashion that we are able to bring the entire literature, or so to say, the book or the literature or journal to the audience. So we are very good at handling material. Now, what about the audience? The audience, some of the audience you get are similar. I mean, you may be addressing the similar audience, or sometimes you have some member in the audience which are a little different from the others. Or maybe 50-60% of the audience is different. Not only different in terms of their entering into a new system or coming in front of you first time, but also in difference in their demography, their background, their qualification, so many other things are different. So for a good presenter, or for a good communicator, or for a good public speaker, audience is the key. These are the four pillars for a professional speaker or professional communicator. I'm just again running through all of this very quickly, so that I can give you just the highlight, or just the maybe the filler of what the whole thing means. We can discuss it at length. We can even ask questions. Now we are coming to self. Self is all about the person who is doing it. For example, I am doing this presentation today, and it's all about me. If I am weak, if I am not healthy, if I am not mentally fit, if I am not physically fit, if I am sick, if I am weak, so my personality is not good, if my posture is not good, there are so many things which are related to the person in himself or herself. So it's very important for us to understand how self as an one of the acronyms is important for presentation and communication. Now the most important thing is situation. Now, the same presentation that I am showing you, I can actually tweak it for a different situation, for a different audience, for a different purpose. So I have to understand as a communicator, what is the situation I'm addressing? What is the situation I'm getting into? So I have to, that is very important. That's a big skill that we all need to learn and understand. So situation is an important aspect of communication, is an important aspect of, when I'm talking about communication, it means all the three: communication, public speaking, and presentation. So that's the reason why I have dealt with that in the beginning itself. So situation is very important. It's also in time is also part of situation. Location is also part of situation. Audience strength, number of people in the audience. What is the facilities you get at the venue? It's all related to the situation. So I'm just putting that word so that it gives a broader meaning. Now, how many of you are aware of this 73855? You just say yes. You just say yes, so that I don't want you to open up or spill the beans. I just want you to say yes or no.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So, quite a few of you know what this 73855 is. Okay, so some people who said 7, they know what is 73855. For those who were not spoken or not given a presentation last time, as Mr. Srikantan said, so we would want to give them this opportunity. What does 73855 mean?
Sir, Meherbian's law of communication, sir.
That's wonderful. Okay, that's one clue. Anybody else, you can keep your mute on mute. Somebody else can add to what you're saying. Meherbian is the right answer. He is the pioneer psychologist or the person who started it. Please respond through your speaker. Unmute and respond. It's very important in communication and all the three aspects I'm saying.
It's a verbal, tone,
okay,
and body language.
Verbal, tone, and body language. Okay. I appreciate your answer, Dharmalingam sir. Anybody else can be a little close to what I'm. See, I am looking at something which I will always want to look at. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I would appreciate if you can come as close as what I'm looking at, which is very important actually for the topic that we are handling. Dharmalingam sir, your try was very good. Can I Okay, now so that we don't extend our time limit, we have to focus on this 55 first. We'll go reverse. What could be 55? What could be 38? Let's combine this 38 and 55. So there are two aspects in communication, public speaking and presentation. One is non-verbal, the other is verbal, right? Can I get a yes or a no from for this?
Yes.
Good. So, one is verbal, the other is non-verbal. Dharmalingam sir, you can unmute, sir. You can mute yourself. Sorry. All right. So, 38 plus 55 is 93, and that is non-verbal. That means whatever you present, whatever you communicate, whatever you do in front of people, 93% of what you say is all about non-verbal. And non-verbal includes body language, includes facial expressions, includes so many things which actually conveys what the presenter wants to say to the audience or the listener. 93% of whatever you say constitutes non-verbal communication. So the startling point is the 7% is the impact of words. Actually, the words that I'm speaking, only 7% of that has that impact. So people would be thinking that, okay, I don't have a content, I don't know what the subject is, I may not be very good. But if you are very good in this 93% bracket, I think you can do pretty well, and you can actually learn a few more tricks on the 7%, and you can be a complete presenter or a professional. So 7% is 38 plus 55 is non-verbal, and 7% is verbal. I hope you are able to get what I'm saying. Any responses?
Yes.
Good, good. Okay, others also might respond, so that's okay. So this is 738-55 concept. Again, as somebody said, Dharmalingam, I think you said, sir, that it is done by Meherbian, which is more than a 70-year-old concept, and it is still very relevant and prevalent in today's times. So that's the important thing. Any questions related to this, we can handle it at the question answer. Up till now, is this the session valuable to you?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now let's go to this T structure, which I have mentioned in the agenda. What is T according to you? Anybody? It also defines a complete professional, or a complete person, so to say, in today's times. What could be T be? There are two arms in T. One is the vertical arm and the other is the horizontal arm. What could be the vertical arm? Yes, sir. Venkatraman, sir. Chandrasekhar, sir.
Transparent?
The vertical or the horizontal? No, I'm talking about both separately, because it consists two different. One is horizontal, the other is vertical. So what is vertical, sir? Anybody can unmute and respond, sir.
Does it mean vertical communication and the horizontal communication?
No, sir. Good try, sir. Okay. Okay. I'll just give you one hint, which is T is the skills on specific disciplines. That means if you are a mechanical engineer, you're an electrical engineer, or you are an engineer, you are a doctor. Okay. You are a skilled professional, or you are a person in the humanities or non-science area. Whichever is your specific skills. For example, business management professional, or consultants, or management consultants. They are the subject matter experts in their own areas. Those are specific disciplines. Skills in their own specific discipline is the vertical. So the vertical is multiple. There will be about 10 different types of people in the vertical zone. Okay. Now, all these different types of professionals or skill discipline with some specific discipline, skills with some specific discipline, must have the excellence skills, which is also called soft skills. And communication and public speaking and presentation skills are part of soft skills. So all of these people in today's time needs this, which is actually it's like the pillars of the home or the office, and there is a roof on top. So if there is no roof, there is no point in staying in that place. So the excellent skills or soft skills or the major skills that anybody is actually for every profession, for every type of person. So that's the meaning of this T structure. So in today's scenario, the excellent skills or soft skills, which actually enhances the excellence in your profession, your team, your company, your type of businesses, is that excellence. So it's across all specific areas. Am I okay on this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Now these are as far as the terminologies that we saw. Now I would just want to quickly wrap up the last few minutes by putting up certain qualities that we must work on. I have seen in the last few sessions that I have attended your consultants group webinar, I identified a few things which I think we must we must work on for our future of future development, I would say. One is we need to be more convincing when we say something or present something. It should not be just for the sake of doing it. It should be convincing enough for people to understand, and they should appreciate that, okay, this is relevant, and they will also listen very actively when you say something very convincing and relevant. It should be connectable to the audience, and it should also ensure that it can actually address a wide varied audience. It may sometimes not be in your favor that you get a very, it's called captive audience. We may not get a captive audience every time. So we have to present our concepts, our content to a wide variety of audience. So it should fulfill that aspect as well. It should be interesting. I know many of the presentations we see nowadays may not be as interesting, and we may want to shut down after a few minutes and say, okay, I'm not interested. I'll see the video. I'll see the video recording. Who is interested in taking this call? No? So it should be interesting throughout the journey of presentation or communication, and we should have example stories and anecdotes, because every time, please understand, friends, is that stories sell. Okay, content only tells, but stories which is connected to the content sells. For example, in a technical presentation, you can actually relate it to your own story, your own experience, or an anecdote which is connected to that particular content or concept. If you are actually describing a concept, you can actually start with what you have done, what you found it as a challenge, and how you have implemented these. For example, it is Kaizen, and you can give an example or a story how Kaizen was used and how it benefited people, and that can connect to the content and the audience. It should be convenient. Meaning convenient is a broader subject. You can connect it to, it should be easily understandable, and people should not find it too difficult to follow what you are saying. So it should be convenient for people to listen to, and it should be easily understandable. Absolutely very important, empathy. Now, empathy is a very wide subject, but I have identified two key areas where it can be useful for us. One is, it's always we instead of you. Now, if you keep on saying you need to know this is important for you, this is important for you, you have to learn this skill, you have to understand this. Generally, people are not, we are taken aback, or they go into a shell. If we use we understand this, and we must need to work on this, then it actually makes people to empathize with you and then come to as you're saying. Secondly, it is about or for you. It's not at or to you. If I'm saying something, it should be about you, and it should be for your benefit. It should not be to you. It's a very powerful way of explaining this. If I'm telling something at you, that means I'm trying to prove a point. If I'm saying something to you, if I feel I give an impression that you must listen to it. But it is a two-way traffic. Communication is a two-way traffic. So it should be about, and it should be for you, for the audience also. The other qualities are this: it should be respectful. People who are in the audience should feel that they are respected and they are taken along. It should be valuable. Value is a big subject. It should be valuable for the people who are listening to you. Meaning, for example, you're presenting something, you're saying something, communicating something today to your customers or to your fellow members in the office. If it is not valuable, if it has little less value than what they expect, they will disconnect. And there you have lost your chance of getting it back, because you'll get only one valuable chance. After that, it may not come to you. So you have to capitalize on that and add value. It should be time bound. That means if I have told you about I'll take 30-35 minutes, I should try to wrap it up in that time. Okay. It should be applicable for immediate term. Okay, after 3 years it will be useful. Nobody's interested. It should be knowledgeable, but to the point. It should have the content. It should have the material that I said in the first place. But it has to be to the point. So how do we do it? Is by having minimum slides, as less a content, but with more conversation. It should be conversational. It also should be a reference of further study. For example, I'm presenting something people would like to take it forward, want to learn from it, and then they want to do some research or take this as a reference. And what happens is, finally, what happens if you repeat? As I said, repetition is a powerful tool. If I am trying to emphasize a certain point, if I do that repeatedly throughout my presentation, I'm trying to connect a common thread throughout. And definitely summary is very important. So summary is very important. Now the last slide before we close is that we are all talking about Industry 4.0, isn't it? But are we talking about consultants and business leaders 4.0? We are not that much. So we need to change ourselves and reskill with the times. And today's times, digital world is actually throwing up these challenges to us on a daily basis. So we can use this skill for online technology, for L&D, which is learning and development, B&D, which is business and development, R&D, which is research and development, and even in consulting. So we must use these skills to not only to survive, but also to succeed in the new future that the world is throwing at us. All right. So thank you very much for being part of this presentation. And I must thank each one of you to have patiently listened to what I had to say. And definitely, I want to leave this with one small thought.
Sir, we have 5 minutes of time for question and answer.
Yeah, I will just end up with this small thought. This is the thought of the day for today. I'll just finish it. 1 second. The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. Single biggest problem in communication, but generally it is still far from have taken place. With this, I conclude, and thank you very much once again. These are my coordinates, the details which can be used for your further reference, future reference. Thank you very much. I am open to questions. Yes, sir. You can unmute or you can, Srikantan sir, you can help me on this.
You can ask many questions.
5 minutes, maybe 5 to 10 minutes maximum. Yeah, go ahead, please. Please go ahead. What did you not understand for MASS? Generally, people don't ask questions. I ask questions, which becomes very difficult for people. So, thank you very much for making my day by saying it was useful, and I appreciate your thanks on this. I appreciate so many people who have thanked me, and it's a big booster for the entire day, for my entire month, for my entire duration. So thank you very much.